ribs.
This engine was modified with great passion. Enlargement of the thrust bearings, ports, and seals were all fine-tuned by engineers using hand tools. We further wanted to increase the suction on the intake side and so on, but all these hand modifications just took too much time. For this 1998 model, or actually from the late 1996 models, these modifications by hand were done by specially designed machines, which did amazing precision work that were actually impossible to do by hand.
A quarter-mile race between the 96 and 98 models.
Hey, not a bad start. This is gonna be a close one.
The 98 model leads at third gear.
This is a good match.
The quarter-mile finish was an exact tie. Due to a lowered final gear, the gears up to third are low, giving a slight advantage at the start. But with the wider fourth gear, the 96 model closed the gap. And now, the full braking test from about 95 miles per hour. The 96 model marked about 270 feet. And the 98 model, with its bigger rotors, stops at 230 feet. At the circuit, where the modification should really count, it became a head-to-head battle with a 200-horse MR2 G Limited.
Ha ha ha!
Of course, a win with lap times in a minute and 9-second range.
It's a stable ride. There's only a slight improvement in quickness, but the brakes and tires really contribute to the stable lap times. It's a driver-friendly car.
I guess the gear ratio has some demerits at top acceleration.
Yeah, but the first, second, and third gears match this circuit. The new Integra R is a fine car.
Yes, it seems that way.
Yeah, it's a good match. It's really easy to drive.
The Integra R is great for low and mid-speed courses.
Older Integra Rs had problems with the first and second hairpins.
You couldn't rev the engine enough for those corners.
But now the second gear is a perfect match.
Let's see the performance of the 98 Spec R at the Fuji Speedway.
Is the oil still okay? Stay cool.
This is the second lap of the endurance race. Pay attention to the oil temperature gauge.
Hey, 115 degrees. It's getting a little hot. I should turn on the air conditioner. There is no air conditioning, only a heater. This 100R corner feels really nice. But the gear is a little off in the fourth gear. Hey, I see an RX-7. Probably his oil temperature must be rising too. Whoa, so is mine. I'm turning on the heater. Holy cow, it's hot. Too hot. Like a hot tub. Whoa, this is real hot. It's up to 130 now. Come on, 7 baby, come on. I'll just overtake him right here.
おっとでもスリップ使っちゃダメだな。
Yeah! This guy's serious. When we run the circuit with racing cars or demo cars, we use smaller oil elements. With large stock elements, the oil pressure fluctuates and the oil element case gets warped. Also, we put baffles in the oil pan or put heat-resistant tape in between the header and the oil pan to prevent the oil pressure from fluctuating.
エキゾーストマニュオールドとオイルパンとの隙間のところに遮熱テープを貼って油温が上がらないようにしていると。
If you're driving a 96 spec Integra with over 60,000 clicks and still want to keep on driving it by rebuilding the engine, I recommend at the same time you change the original suspension arm at the rear to a 98 or a later version for a milder ride and easier handling.
マイルドに上質感のあるものになると思う。エンジンマウント。
The engine and transmission mounts and shift link bushings are all compatible from 96 to 2000 models. So when changing parts, you should talk to your dealer and specify which parts you want to change to.
あるいは〇〇バージョンの車にしたいっていうふうに部品交換の時にディーラーにちょっとそういうふうに相談してみるといいと思います。
Before making major modifications, I think you can get some interesting results by changing small parts to enjoy the circuit more.
Here we go.
As with the Integra R, the Civic Type R has been tested intensively at this Takasu Testing Center's winding course, which was designed similar to the old course of Nürburgring. The third Type R debuted in August 97. Civic R with a chassis, a generation newer, has a wheelbase 1.6 inches longer, but a shorter overhang compared to the three-door Integra R. Suspension and brakes, including the ABS, were fine-tuned after numerous tests. To increase the overall body rigidity, 3 performance rods were added along with a stiffer front strut tower bar. Also, the body thickness around the rear bumper was increased. A 30-kilo diet and a facelift in the interior has become the usual program for the Type R. However, all the gear ratios of the Civic R were identical to the base model. Therefore, improvements in performance were due to the B16B engine, which had been downsized to 1.6 liters from the Integra R's engine. The gear ratios from first to fifth and up to the final gear are the same in these two cars as well.
Geez, the Integra R is fast. Maybe I can keep up. Oops, I